I'm Tyler Austin from Gungnir Strategic. Thank you so much for watching. In this video, I'm going to be bringing you a product I've absolutely fallen in love with over the last few weeks, and that is going to be this Daisho Tactical 2-point padded sling. Now, I reviewed one of Rob's slings a few months back, and that was his 1 to 2 point conversion bungee sling. That's a fantastic sling in its own right. However, Rob sent me this about 2 weeks ago for me to test and review if I wanted to, and he sent me it in Multicam Tropic because he knows I'm a simp for Multicam Tropic. Anyways, I've had this sling for 2 weeks now, and I have absolutely fallen in love with it. And the reason why I like it so much is because, in my opinion, it perfectly fills the void of an in-between between a very lightweight, small, minimalist type sling and a wider, heavier, and in my opinion, more practical sling. It really fills that in-between very well. And the reason for that is primarily going to be because it has this pad on it. Now, in my opinion, and I have come to this opinion over the last few months really, I believe that almost every sling should be padded because I think a pad really adds a lot of practicality to a sling. Particularly smaller slings or narrower slings like 1-inch slings. The reason for that is because A, it adds comfort to the sling, which is the most obvious, of course, especially when you're wearing a sling all day long. If you're just running a minimalist 1-inch sling without a pad, that sling is going to wear on you. It just doesn't spread the weight of the rifle around as well as like a wider sling, such as a 1 1/4 inch sling. However, the pad solves that because the pad obviously adds a little bit of length and a little bit of padding to that sling, which definitely makes it more comfortable to wear for longer periods of time. But more importantly, and a lot of people don't think about this, the pad, especially for these narrower slings, really helps prevent that sling from flipping around, which is really, really important because if the sling is flipping around during use, in the event that you need to loosen or tighten that sling quickly, as that sling is flipping around, your pull tab or whatever slider that sling uses is going to bury itself either into your body or into your kit. And when you need to quickly loosen or tighten that sling, you're going to be hunting for your pull tab or slider, whatever that sling uses, because the sling is flipped around so much. So it's more than just a nuisance. It can actually be pretty obnoxious. And pads, especially for 1-inch slings, really help prevent that sling from flipping because it makes the sling wider and therefore less likely to flip. And those have been the main reasons why I've always been a 1 1/4 inch sling guy. I've pretty much always avoided 1-inch slings because they tend to flip a lot. And on top of that, when you're wearing them all day on the range or out training or whatever I'm doing, they're just not as comfortable as a wider 1 1/4 inch sling. However, this sling right here is by far my favorite 1-inch sling, and it's become my favorite sling on the market because you get the same advantages of a narrower, thinner sling, but that pad gives you the same advantages as a wider sling. So I have absolutely fallen in love with this sling for that very reason, which is why it has found its place on my go-to rifle. Now this sling, although it's padded, the pad itself is not overly wide and intrusive. It definitely makes the sling a little bit wider and definitely adds some padding to it, but it's not overly intrusive. A lot of padded slings, the pad tends to be pretty wide and can sometimes be pretty intrusive when you're manipulating the rifle and can just get in your way sometimes. It also can sometimes catch on gear. It's just wider, so there's just more friction. However, this pad is just wide enough to give you a good amount of padding while also giving you the same advantages that I just talked about of the pad, preventing the sling from flipping and all that. So this is a really, really nice pad. The only thing I would say about it is I wish the pad was just a little bit longer. I think it would benefit from being probably a good maybe 3 or 4 inches longer. I think it would benefit from that. That's really would be my only complaint with the sling. I don't even really want to call it a complaint. But I think if the pad itself was a good 3, maybe 4 inches longer, I think it would benefit from that too. Anyways, moving on from there, the Sling uses a cam buckle, which I absolutely love, and makes it very easy to both tighten the sling and loosen the sling. It's very, very smooth and very easy to do. Has this nice big old pull tab on there too, so it's not hard to find when you need to loosen or tighten the sling. It's just a great all-around sling. Again, I think it really fills the void nicely between an ultra minimalist and a wider, more practical sling. So if you are in the market for a new sling, definitely be sure to check out Daisho Tactical. Again, this is their 2-point padded sling. Big fan of it, and that's why it's found its way on my go-to rifle. Rob also has a fantastic YouTube channel, Daisho Tactical, so be sure to check that out. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm Tyler Austin from Gungnir Strategic. Thank you so much for watching.